appreciate you coming out and getting a good start on it. My name's Lane Hendrickson, and this is Justin Keelan over here on Bowron and Bones.
Hello, everybody.
So, yeah, we're going to play. Have you ever seen a stomp chair before? Okay. Let me. Don't worry, I can't read music. This is just lyrics because I'm way over 40 and you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes my brain leaks. You ready, Skitty? Okay. Step we gaily, on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Maurie's wedding. Wait. I knew there was something wasn't working there. Try that again. Now you're ready. Step we gaily, on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Maurie's wedding. Past the shearways up and down, myrtle green and black and brown, past the shield and through the town, all for Maurie's wedding. Step we gaily, on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Maurie's wedding. Plenty hair and plenty meal, plenty peat to fill her krill, plenty bonny burns as well, that's our toast for Maury. Step gaily, on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Maury's wedding. Cheeks as bright as Rowan's are, brighter far than any star, fairest of them all by far, that's our darling Maury. Step gaily, on we go, heel for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Maury's wedding. Over hillways up and down, myrtle green and black and brown, past the shield and through the town, all for Maury's wedding. There we go. We finally getting it all right. That's right in your way, isn't it? Sorry about that. You know, I don't want to deprive you of, that just wouldn't be fair. That's a little Scottish tune, and this is one called Cooley's Reel. We played it the other day, and he said, "Is that a reel or a jig?" And I said, "Well, the title implies reel, so it probably is." Do y'all know the difference between a jig and a reel? A jig, the rhythm goes bacon and sausages, bacon and sausages, bacon and sausages, bacon, and a reel goes Black and Decker, Black and Decker, Black and Decker, Black and Decker. And a slip jig goes bacon and eggs and sausages, bacon and eggs and sausages, bacon and eggs. So that comes in handy for us. Anyway, this is Cooley's Reel. I'm sorry. A little bit nervous. Y'all need to clap along or something. That'll help. One more try. go. Thank you. Now we're getting somewhere. I appreciate it. All these tunes, they sound a whole lot alike sometimes, and they get to be like all up in your head about 12 different ways. And technical failure right off the bat. Once again there. Thank you. Huh? Yeah. And this is a little number called Star the County Down. Near Bainbridge Town in the county down one morning last July. Down a boring green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself for to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. As she onward sped, sure I scratched my head and I looked with a feeling rare. And I said, says I, to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? He smiled at me and he said, says he, that's a gem of old Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. Well, at Harvest Fair she'll be surely there, and I'll dress in me Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright and my cap cocked right, for a smile from my nut brown rose. So pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, till my plow is a rust-colored brown. And my own fireside sits a smiling bride, she's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. There we go. Thank you. We sure do appreciate it. Hey, doggy. Now, this is a little number called Harvest Home. And y'all just clap along and feel free to jump up and get some coffee. And this is a little nerve-wracking. I have absolutely never played Irish music before a sober audience. And I got to really thinking about that. I was like, I don't know how well this is going to work. You give 100 people of, Celtic descent coffee, they're gonna like be fighting out there for it. Tighten up there.
Hey, Lane.
Yeah, Bo.
You ever heard the joke about the two Irishmen?
No.
Two Irish guys walk past the bar?
Yeah?
That's it. That's the joke.
Oh, that's pretty good. go. Wonderful. Thank you. I just love it when you clap along. That helps a lot. I'm telling you. I'm going to have to do this to you a little bit. Sorry. I'll move it back over. This one's called Rousing the Bow. I've traveled all this world over, and now to another I go. And I know the good quarters are waiting to welcome old rousing the bow. To welcome old rousing the bow. To welcome old rousing the bow. I know the good quarters are waiting to welcome old rousing the bow. When I'm dead and laid out on the counter, a voice you will hear from below, saying, send down a hogshead of whiskey to drink with old rousing the bow. To drink with old rousing the bow. To drink with old rousing the bow. Won't you send down a hogshead of whiskey to drink with old rousing the bow? Then get you half dozen stout fellows and stack 'em all up in a row. And bend out a half-gallon bottles to the memory of rousing the bow. The memory of rousing the bow. The memory of rousing the bow. Let 'em drink out a half-gallon bottles to the memory of rousing the bow. Then get this half dozen stout fellows and let 'em all stagger and go. And dig a great hole in a meadow, and in it throw rousing the bow. And in it throw rousing the bow. And in it throw rousing the bow. Let 'em dig a great hole in a meadow, and in it throw rousing the bow. Then get you a couple of bottles, put one at me foot and me toe, and a diamond ring scratch upon 'em, the name of old rousing the bow. The name of old rousing the bow. The name of old rousing the bow. With a diamond ring scratch upon 'em, the name of old rousing the bow. Well, I've only this one consolation, as out of this world I go, as I know that the next generation will resemble old rousing the bow. Resemble old rousing the bow. Resemble old rousing the bow. For I know that the next generation will resemble old rousing the bow. Well, I feel that old tyrant approaching, that cruel, remorseless old foe. And I lift me glass in his honor, take a drink with old rousing the bow. Take a drink with old rousing the bow. Take a drink with old rousing the bow. And I lift me glass in his honor, take a drink with old rousing the bow. There we go. Thank you. This one's called The Road to Lisdoon Varna. Thank you. This one you might recognize. It's an obligatory Irish tune, but it's a real good one, so I do it anyway. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you, must go, but I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And if you come when all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, though dead I may well be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear those soft ye tread above me, and all my dreams shall warm and sweeter be. If you'll not fail to tell me that you love me, I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me. I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me. There we go. Thank you. I love songs that take place under the grave. You know, it's hard to. It's a good number. Murder ballads. Yeah, we got a few of those. And the songs about whiskey and biscuits and murder and biscuits. Yeah, this one's about tea. Called a coupe of tea. There we go. Thank you. This one's called The Minstrel Boy. Another song about death and dying for your entertainment tonight. Look, this stuff. It's great. Can't have Irish music without fog. Oh, me. The minstrel boy to the war is gone. In the ranks of death you will find him. His father's sword he has girded on, and his wild harp slung behind him. O land of song, say the warrior bard, the world betrays thee. One sword at least thy right shall guard, one faithful harp shall praise thee. The minstrel fell, but the foeman's chain could not drag his proud soul under. The harp he loved ne'er sing again, for he tore its chords asunder. Instead, O song shall sully thee, thou soul of love and bravery. Thy songs were meant for the pure and free, they shall never sound in slavery. There we go. Thank you. This one's a little tune called Up Sligo. There we go. Thank you. This is called Johnny Has Gone for a Soldier. It's an old Revolutionary War tune. A lot of these songs, some of them you may recognize, kind of snuck into the repertoire of American musicians as well. And a lot of them, of the old-time fiddle tunes and therefore the bluegrass tunes later, actually came from Scotland and Ireland. They were kind of preserved up in the mountains east of us here. And this is one of those tunes. Oh, there she sits on yonder hill. Who could blame her to cry her fill? And every tear would turn a mill. Oh, Johnny has gone for a soldier. Oh me, oh my, she loved him so. It broke her heart to see him go. Now only time can heal her woes. Oh, Johnny has gone for a soldier. She sold her rock, she sold her reel. Likewise she sold her spinning wheel to buy her love a sword of steel. Oh, Johnny has gone for soldier. She'll dye her dress, she'll dye it red, and round the world she'll bake her bread until her parents shall wish her dead. Oh, Johnny has gone for a soldier. Thank you. Can you hear everything all right out there? I'm sorry. Here we go. This is an old Irish rebel ballad called The Rising of the Moon. Come and tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Hush me, boo, boo, boo. Wait a minute.
And his cheeks.
I gotta get going here. Come and tell me, Sean O'Farrell, tell me why you hurry so. Hush me, Buckle, hush me, Nixon, and his cheeks were all aglow. I bear orders from the captain, get you quick and ready soon. For the pipes must be together by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. For the pipes must be together by the rising of the moon. Come and tell me, Sean O'Farrell, where the gathering is to be. In the old spot by the river, quite well known to you and me. One more word for signal token, whistle up the marching tune. With your pikes up together by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. For the pikes must be together by the rising of the moon. All along the snaking river, that dark mass of men was seen. Far above their shining weapons hung their only flag of green. Death to every foe and traitor, forward strike the marching tune. And their pikes upon your shoulders by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. With your pikes upon your shoulder by the rising of the moon. Out on many a mud wall cabin, eyes were watching through the night. Many a manly heart was throbbing for the blessed morning light. Murmurs ran along the valley to the banshee's lonely croon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing by the rising of the moon. By the rising of the moon, by the rising of the moon. And 1,000 pikes were flashing by the rising of the moon. All along the singing river, that black mass of men was seen, and behind the shining weapons hung beloved green. Death to every foe and traitor, whistle up the marching tune. And around me, boys, for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. 'Tis the rising of the moon, 'tis the rising of the moon. And around me, boys, for freedom, 'tis the rising of the moon. There we go. Thank y'all.
We made it.
That was fun. I tried to throw in there by reversing a few lyrics. I do that to him periodically,
So
just to make sure he's paying attention. This little tune is actually a modern Irish tune, but it's by a modern traditionalist Irish musician called Kevin Burke. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Kevin Burke. If you haven't, you need to look him up. He's one of the best fiddle players in the world, and he kept playing this tune over and over, and nobody knew what its name was, and he finally, people kept asking him what it was, and he hadn't come up with one. He said, it's still up in the air, so that's what they started calling it. So, up in the air. Thank you. Back to death and dying. I was down the glen one Easter morn to a city fair rode I. There are lines of marching men in squadrons pass me by. No pipe did hum, no battle drum did sound his loud tattoo, but D'Angela's bells or the leafy swells rang out in the foggy dew. Ride proudly high over Dublin town, hung day out the flag of war. 'Twas better to die 'neath an Irish sky than its silver or sodden bar. And through the plains of royal Meath, strong men came hurrying through, while Britannia's Huns with their long-range guns sailed in through the foggy dew. those fearless men, but few, who bore the fight that freedom's light might shine through the foggy blue. And through the glen I rode again, and my heart with grief was sore. For I parted then with valiant men that I never shall see no more. But to and fro in my dreams I go, and I kneel and I pray for you. For the birthday fled the glorious dead when you fell in the foggy dew. Thank you. We really appreciate y'all. This is a little slip jig, and Doc Bones here is going to switch to his bones. That's his name. He makes these himself. They're not real bones, though, so be not afraid.
Black walnut.
This is a little one called Rocky Road to Dublin. There we go. Thank you. Mighty fine bone rattling.
Thank you very much, sir.
You just called me sir.
It's very hard for me to go to a barbecue restaurant and get sauce everywhere.
I can imagine. Yeah, when I first met Justin, we were playing in another band, or I was playing in another band down in Paducah, and Justin came in, I looked at him, and I was like, he looks a little too much like me to suit me. And I started getting a little nervous about it, and I was, who's your mother? I never knew her, so it's not. And he's got blue eyes, so it's genetically impossible based on mine. Both my parents had brown eyes, so somebody tell me that. But anyway, so now he just called me sir, and that made me even more nervous.
Well, sorry about that, Lane.
Oh, this is a fun little tune called Weevily Wheat. Can we keep playing this? Yeah, sure. Gotta get over here where I can see. Don't want none of your weevily wheat, I don't want none of your barley. One good flour and half an hour to bake a cake for Charlie. Charlie's neat and Charlie's sweet and Charlie, he's a dandy. Loves to hug and kiss the girls and feed 'em sugar candy. O'er the river and through the trees, o'er the river to Charlie. O'er the river to feed my sheep on buckwheat cakes and barley. Don't want none of your weevily weed, I don't want none of your barley. Want a flour and half an hour to bake a cake for Charlie. Coffee grows on white oak trees and rivers flow with brandy. Got a pretty little blue-eyed gal, sweet as molasses candy. Don't want none of your weevily weed, I don't want none of your barley. Want good flour and half an hour to bake a cake for Charlie. Mama's gone to Harlem town and Papa's gone to Dover. Sisters wore her slippers out, a kicking Charlie over. Don't want none of your weevily weed, I don't want none of your barley. Want good flour and half an hour to bake a cake for Charlie. Take her by her lily white hand and lead her like a pigeon. Make her dance the weevily weed till she loses her religion. Don't want none of your weevily weed, I don't want none of your barley. Want good flour and half an hour to bake a cake for Charlie. There we go. Thank you. This is a little slip jig called The Butterfly. It's one of my absolute favorites. I don't know if any of you have ever seen a movie called The Secret of Roan Inish. Have you? If you haven't seen it, you just got to find it. I just burnt that thing up. And when I first heard this song in there, I just thought, that's the most wonderful tune I've ever heard, so I would try to learn it. It's called The Butterfly. Thank you. This one, unfortunately, is called The Parting Glass. So, not the parting cup, because we don't have any glasses here, but unfortunately.
Oh, we got Dixie cups.
Dixie cups. The Parting Dixie Cup. And it have the same ring, does it? Of all the money that e'er I've had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. But all I've done through want of wit to memory now I can't recall, though fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that e'er I've had, the sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts thoughts that ere I've had the hood wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I simply rise and I softly call good night, and joy be with you all. Thank you. There we go. Thank y'all very, very much. We're going to say goodnight. And up next is J.T. Oglesby. If you've never heard him before, he's a state and national champion thumb picker. He's a real good friend of mine. He's going to come up real soon here. We're going to play one more for you. And I really want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and supporting live music in the area. We need more of it. And this is a great venue. I'd really love to thank West Kentucky Community and Technical College.
WKCTCS.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it sounds like a radio station myself.
But anyway, I'd love to thank them for having us, and we've had a wonderful time. So it's one little number for you, Drowsy Maggie. Thank y'all so much. We're the Brothers Brogan. Come see us as soon as you can. J.T. Ogilvy's going to be up. We're going to take a little bit short intermission here. Thank y'all.
Guitar strapped on real quick. I was sitting over talking. He thought I'd vanished or something. Sorry. I'm going to start out with an old song I really liked. It's not really done on the guitar that often. It's kind of an old frail and banjo song that, I don't know, I just liked and decided I was going to play it on the guitar. So it's kind of my good luck thing. It's like, if I don't start the gig with a song, the gig goes downhill. So I have to. All right, it's called Reuben's Train. Wait one second. Can I get a little bit of guitar and monitor, please? Is it coming through the mains? Let me check my ID out real quick. Oh, it's funny. I agree it is. I'd laugh too. What am I talking about? I am laughing. What am I saying? All right. There it is. Everybody welcome my guitar. Very nice of it to join us tonight. All right, here goes, Reuben's Train. So Reuben built a train, put it on the tracks, ran into the Lord was there. It's oh me, and it's oh mine, ran into the Lord was there. Last night down in jail, had no money for my bill. Don't you know that cell's dark and cold? It's oh me and it's oh mine. Don't you know that cell's dark and cold? So Reuben built a train, put it on the tracks, ran to the Laurels there. And it's oh me, and it's oh mine, ran to the Lord was there. So ran to the Lord was there. So ran to that Lord was there. Thank you very much. I play in the traditional way that kind of came from Western Kentucky. I live right on the border of Muhlenberg County, and right at the Hopkins-Muhlenberg County line. Well, Muhlenberg County is kind of the birthplace of the type of picking that I prefer to do, you know. That's kind of what I learned on. The guy who kind of made it famous was named Merle Travis, and they kind of call this picking Travis picking. Actually, a man called Mose Rager is the one who taught Merle Travis. Mose Rager also taught my cousin, who taught me. So in a way, you know, I'm a direct lineage of the guy who invented the style. And let me tune this up while I'm talking real quick. Now, one of the downsides of playing the traditional way like that, though, is I use my nails. So I'm going to warn you, if it sounds like I hit a brick wall all at once, that's my fingernail kind of breaking on me a little bit. So I may point that out to you. I'm going to do one real quick. This is an old melody that Mose Rager wrote. And Merle Travis took the song and he put words to it and wrote it about Mose Rager. Well, one of the cool parts about it, the reason I like to do it as well, is in it there's a line about a general store. And well, that was a key factor in the evolution of this music. Over in Cleveland, Kentucky, there was a store that used to gather every Saturday night, and this is where the style evolved. Well, my great-grandfather owned that store, so that's another kind of a personal twist to it that, you know, makes me like this song. But this is a real, I'm gonna keep this one pretty traditional. It's gonna be pretty traditional and true to form for the Western Kentucky thumb picking. And it's called Guitar Rag. Way down old Kentucky is a fella mighty lucky by the way he makes guitar moan. Hanging around, singing around the country store, just picking like a chicken, picking up corn. Every gal in that county gathers all around him, 'cause he's got rhythm in his bones. If feet start moving and a shovel and drag, every time I hear the rhythm of the guitar rag, gets moaning tone, gets grumbling groan. Yeah, when he gets the picking and the plucking the things that he can make a dig and do the bucking wing. All the fat and the skinny does a little shimmy and the feet start to wiggle and wag. Feet start moving and shovel and drag every time I hear the rhythm of a guitar rag. Gets moaning tone, gets grumbling groan. Say when it gets picking and plucking the strings, he can make a deacon do the bucking wing. All fat and skinny does a little shimmy and the feet start to wiggle and wag. Yeah, the feet start moving and a shovel and drag every time I hear the rhythm of a guitar rag. Yeah, the feet start moving and a shovel and drag every time I hear the rhythm of the guitar rag. Thank you very much. That was probably the third song I ever learned. There's a lot of them like that. I was pretty fortunate to grow up right there where I did, and in the time period that I grew up, because a lot of these guys who helped the whole evolution of the style were still around, and it's really not like that anymore. There's not that many who are actually knew the guys from that time period, but I was fortunate enough. I came along to pick their brains and bug the daylights out of them. I mean, one of the guys that used to really contributed to it too was named Royce Morgan, and Royce lived on the highest hill in Cleveland. I mean, you could sit over there and that Cleveland skyline was beautiful. Okay, there's no Cleveland skyline, but if there was, it would be beautiful. So just kind of envision in your head this really quaint, beautiful village, which is nothing at all what Cleveland's like. But it was a high hill. And so Roy said I was sitting there one night watching TV, ice storm outside, and just pounding, just, And he said I was watching on TV. They were like, stay off the roads, you're going to die if you get on the roads. And he said all of a sudden he heard a knock. And it was like, what? What's going on, man? It's like, who's out in this ice storm coming up the biggest hill around? And he opened it up, and there I was with my guitar. It's like, teach me a song. Yeah, I wasn't too bright, but I learned a song. All right. I'm going to check out my trusty old set list here. I'm going to do an original real quick. I come from 5 generations of coal miners. I'm an underground coal miner, according to the state of Kentucky, even though I don't work in the mines. I'm still a licensed underground coal miner. And, there's a lot of experiences and stuff that you could write about growing up, 5 generations of miners. I've lost family on sad notes, and I mean, there was good notes too. But I chose this about a real deal. This subject matter about this song, my cousin died in a methane explosion, years ago. And it just kind of got me to clicking and thinking, got the wheels turning. And I wrote this one called Ghost of Appalachia. In a cool dark room, my widow cried 8 nights in a row since the day I died. bed deep below that breathed mine in Appalachia, my widow cried. Now the old lamps burn and the cold wind moan. To the hills she cried, I'm all alone. To her unborn child, I've been known. In Appalachia, she's all alone. It was over my stone, heard someone say, what the good Lord gives, the mind takes away. But they need our work, and we need their pay. In Appalachia, it's the only way. It's a fact of life in any mining town, that the roots give way and the mine shuts down. You live to work and you learn to pray. In Appalachia, it's the only way. Please take my child far from these hills to the western plains or the southern fields. 'Cause when you're born, your fate is sealed. In Appalachia, where I was killed. Thank you. I recorded that one with a friend of mine from Canada about a couple years back. And what's funny is I like all kinds of music. I mean, all kinds. And it's pretty cool because I had a girl on that from 9 Inch Nails singing on it. And I just thought it was funny to have a folk song and 9 Inch Nails together. You know, so. I mean, in my weird mind, it was funny. All right, let me say how. I'm gonna play an instrumental real quick, and if I mess up, I won't charge you any extra for it. So. This is one of my favorite ones that Travis did a long time ago, called "I'll See You in My Dreams." Thank you very much. So, Kennedy Jones was another guy that was a pretty prominent figure in the evolution of that style. And like the rest of me, hung around Cleveland quite a bit and, trying to perfect the style and learn chords from a variety of different people. Arnold Schultz being one of them, who was a huge influence on Bill Monroe, which, who's just right across the Green River from where these guys were, working on this style. And Schultze is what they called him. Schultze jumped back and forth, and they'd steal chords from Schultze, then Schultze would go over and Bill Monroe, who just had his 100th birthday this past week, would learn and steal stuff from him too. So Schultze was a pretty influential character. Well, Kennedy was sitting around one day in Drakesboro, and he said, check the song out. He said, I just wrote this new song. And about that time, train that come through every day, about 2 o'clock, come roaring through the middle of Drakesboro, and, whistle blaring and everything like that. Well, he said, hold on a minute. They call it the cannonball. He said, hold on for a minute for the cannonball. Well, it stuck, and the song has been known for years now as the Cannonball Rag. Any of you that watch KET's Kentucky at Field can hear it. It's the intro song for it, and I'm about to play it. My cousin, Eddie Pennington, plays it on the TV show, and he's the one that taught me the song. And this is actually the first song I ever learned. So now you know the history of the song. Here it is, Cannonball Rag. Thank you. One of the things that's always kind of amazed me about this style, you had these guys working on this style. When you had 15, 20 miles down the road, you had Bill Monroe and all that with, the bluegrass, what we know as the bluegrass sound. And it's funny how little these two styles have in common. They both evolved about the same place. They both had the same kind of middle ground with Schultze, but it just two total different sounds, And that's always kind of amazed me because Thumbpickers always had more of a ragtime jazz feel to it and stuff like that, and progressions and everything like the chords they used, to where everybody knows, the Bill Monroe and the High Lonesome sound and all that, One's almost like an eponymous Appalachian style, while the other has more in common with New Orleans and the Piedmont area and Virginia and stuff like that. And I always found that really interesting, I always kind of dug around in it, If you can't tell, I've knocked on 1 million doors over in that area growing up. Like, please tell me a story. I promised Lane, by the way, I'd make a set list. Here it is, just so you know. Everybody say hello to my set list, please. I don't make set lists. I don't like them, so he's been on me for like 2 months. Make a set list, make a set list. Okay. I'm not really looking at it right now. I'm just going to kill on time. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, all right, now I'm thinking here. All right, I'm going to do another. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that one. Well, and I was the last a little bit shy. Some come along, caught my eye. I heard that jazz band strike up. Knew I had my mind made up. Now I'm getting older. Everything's in full swing. Now I'm getting colder. Boy, you gotta do that thing. So I used to walk along with the rest. Got something on my own. Baby, you got a little something. Baby, you got a little something new. Got a little something new. Broke away somehow. That's why I'm swinging it. Got my own thing now. Used to walk along with the rest. Got something on my own. Baby, you got a little something. Baby, you got a little something new. Got a little something new. Broke away some. Now I'm saying son. That's where I'm swinging it. Got my own thing now. Bang it out. Thank you. Now, the whole reason I kind of did that one right there is kind of putting out a point. I kind of prove a point. You know, I just said there's nothing really Appalachian influenced about that certain style. We're Bill Monroe, you know, it's kind of become the eponymous sound for a lot of people. And the reason I did that is that chord progression. You know, when I hit this, bong, yeah. Well, the song I did before that, Cannonball Rag, I could easily pick that with that. And I started to, but then I broke a fingernail. So see, I could take that progression, yeah, and then easily insert. Yeah. Well, and I was the last a little bit shy. Some come along, caught my eye. You see, I can interchange them. That was an old ragtime song that I did the first time, or the vocals. And so see, it kind of shows you how it really, you know, has changed around. I mean, you know, as far as like the difference, you know, it's almost dichotomous in nature. So start and different, you know, between the two. But anyways, speaking of old songs in New Orleans and swinging jazz and all that, I'm gonna do another one here. Well, I went down to old Joe's barroom on the corner by the square. The usual crowd had gathered, and Big Joe McKinney was there. He's standing by my shoulder, his eyes are bloodshot red. He turned to the crowd that gathered, and these are the words he said. I went down to St. James Infirmary, and I saw my baby there. She was laid up on that table, man, so young, so white, so fair. So let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. Search this whole world over, baby, never find another man like me. When I die, won't you bury me beneath the high-top Stetson hat with a $20 gold piece on my watch, so God knows I died standing pat. I want 6 crap shooters for bears and a car still to sing me a song. A jazz band on my funeral wagon, raise hell as I roll on. So let her go, God bless her, whoever she may be. Search this whole world over, baby, never find another man like me. So now that I told you my story, I'll take another shot of booze. And if anybody out there asks you, baby, just say you had the gambling blues. So let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. Search this whole world over, baby, never find another man like me. So let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. Searches the world over, baby, never find another man like me. Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. Searches the whole world over, baby, you'll never find another man like me. Thank you. That was St. James Infirmary. All right, I'm gonna do one here. Let me get comfortable. Y'all get comfortable too. All right, I'm gonna do one called White Heat. Thank you. Now, Travis wrote that one and called it White Heat. And then Chet Atkins recorded it in the 60s and called it Canned Heat. And I'm just going to call it Heat, I guess. I don't know. Thank you. On my guitar, I have written via Sharpie, LOKM. And that's something I've been writing on pretty much everything I can graffiti for the past, I don't know how many years. It stands for Long Live Kentucky Music. And that's something I really take serious, man. I'm like, I'm all about Kentucky arts in general. And even though I promote and I say music, long live Kentucky music, I basically mean the arts in general. Because I'm a musician, primarily, I'll say music, I don't want our culture and our music to fade away and be forgotten about. I don't want to fall in obscurity. I don't want to be swept up in the whole corporate, commercialization of music and everything. Yeah, I don't want it to be whitewashed. I want our culture to be preserved for future generations, and I want people to be proud of who they are and where they're from. And I want them to be proud of our music, This style of music that I've been playing, I was hanging out with Scotty Moore a few years back, who was Elvis's guitarist all through the Sun Record days, the rockabilly days. And he told me plain as day that what he was doing on the guitar was trying to imitate what Merle Travis was doing, Therefore, rockabilly was born. Therefore, rock and roll was born. I've talked to so many of these guys that, growing up, and I was just like, oh, they're so cool. And I got to talking to them. It turned out our area influenced them hardcore. Kentucky, Western Kentucky musicians have influenced the world and shaped the, pop culture way more than what we get credit for, and way more than what we realize, And I noticed a lot of younger musicians and stuff coming up. And man, I fell in the same mindset for a while of being like, I'm just a kid from Kentucky, but something we need to be proud of. I learned that later on, real quick. Of course, it helped. I was pretty cocky, I guess. But besides that, so y'all remember that, man. If y'all can take something away from this night and kind of remember it, just remember that. Long live Kentucky music. Be proud of who you're from and be proud of your heritage. And speaking of which, I'm going to bring two of my buddies back up here to play a song with me. I'm going to bring the Brothers Brogan back up. Y'all give it up for him, man. And while he's getting ready, I just want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting the arts and supporting this whole deal right here. This is great. This is a treasure to have right here in your town. Appreciate everybody coming out, and everybody for having us up here too. Testing. Mine's on.
And thank you, JT, man. This is great. This is one of our favorite old tunes. I know it is Matty Groves, which is an ancient old.
I think I dated Matty Groves.
Did you?
I'm kidding. I'm not that old.
It's an ancient old Irish tune that's made it in to our Kentucky repertoire.
That's right. And I learned it at Shady Grove. And what'd you learn it as? He doesn't know it, so he's about to learn it. All right, thank y'all for coming out, and we're going to shut up and pick another. And
y'all going to have to clap along with this one now.
Ready?
Yeah.
Said Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Eyes as bright as blooming rose and lips of the prettiest brown. She's the darling of my heart, the prettiest little girl in town. Oh, Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Well, I wish I had some bread and meat and a dinner just for two. I'd take it down on Lonesome Bluff and I'd give them both to you. When I was a little boy, man, I wanted to buy a little knife. Now I am a great big boy and I'm looking for a wife. With Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I die. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, my darling, Shady Grove, my little love, and I'm going back to Harlan. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, my lady, Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Take it, Lane.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank
JT
y'all.
Oglesby.
Thank y'all.